We worship the river as a goddess. We think about what we are doing and sprinkle water on our heads. We only get into the river after that. We pray to the goddess to bring us success.
Mangale has come to this river in Chitwan forest to fish. He's a member of the Bote tribe. They're fishermen by tradition.
Our forefathers taught us how to fish using the hook and fishing nets, and so we followed in their footsteps.
Mangale's ancestors came to this river as free men. He comes as a criminal. It's now illegal to enter the forest. Mangale and the rest of the Botes are struggling to survive. Mangale lives in a village on the edge of Chitwan forest in South Nepal with his wife Jupa and their 3 sons. The Botes are one of Nepal's 59 indigenous nationalities, the tribes who are the country's original inhabitants. Officially, there are nearly 8,000 Botes, mostly living around Chitwan. Their life revolves around the river, as one of their leading campaigners explains.
The relationship between Botes and water is as close as the relationship between a fish and water. The Botes are completely different to other people. We have our own unique language, religion, culture, and practices. Our life depends on the jungle and rivers and streams.
For centuries, the Botes living in this area roamed through Chitwan forest, fishing and hunting.
The Botes collected all they needed from the jungle. If they became sick or wounded, they would use herbs to treat themselves. They could cope with everything. This is how their lifestyle was. They were happy then, without anxiety of any kind.
Then, in 1973, Chitwan was turned into a national park. For the Botes, things would never be the same again. But, as the government explains, it was done for a very good reason.
We have created Chitwan National Park basically to protect the biodiversity over there. It is one of the unique places for wildlife like rhinoceros, tigers, leopards, partridge, and many other things. This was also to promote the tourism for international visitors.
Now Chitwan is a World Heritage Site and attracts thousands of tourists each year. But to preserve the animals, people need to be kept out. They can only enter during the day and only on the main tracks through the forest. Fishing and hunting are illegal. In protecting the animals, the government created another problem. It meant that the Botes were cut off from their source of survival.
Unless we can go into the forest, we cannot fish, and so we can't get food. We can't live. Our ancestral occupation is at risk. If we can't fish here, we should be given ponds somewhere else. We can't do anything except fish.
It is not only their occupation, but their existence that is at stake.
I'm worried about the future because I can't provide enough for my children or educate them. Sometimes I have to return without any fish. When I come home empty-handed, it's really embarrassing. We sometimes eat just once a day.
Mangale and his family have to make do with whatever they can scavenge. This evening they're eating some rice and edible ferns. Empty stomachs deter his sons from following tradition.
I don't want to do this. To be a fisherman, it's a hard life.
I do not like it either because I'm afraid of tigers and rhinos.
I want to be a doctor. I don't like fishing.
The government has issued licenses to fish in some rivers near the village, but the Botes say they're useless. Mangale risks entering the forest to find the waters that are full of fish. If he's caught by an army patrol, the punishment can be severe.
Sometimes they seize the fishing nets and take us to the checkpost. Once I was beaten up. Lots of my friends faced the same thing.
The army's presence is strongly felt. Units regularly patrol the village.
If we find them with the valuable things, we take them to the warden and they are treated accordingly. If they enter the jungle to collect grass and firewood, they are arrested and taken to the authorities.
The sergeant denies there is any abuse of power.
There are no unlawful activities taking place in the jungle. If there are people taking advantage, we report it.
It's a difficult balance. The animals need to be preserved, but Mangale and his people need to live. One day he was caught smuggling a tortoise out of the forest. He was taken to the nearest army post.
There was a man there who was arrested for hunting a rhino. He was severely beaten up. I was afraid that he would die, but I couldn't say anything because I was afraid of getting the same punishment. He hung himself and committed suicide.
We have to listen all these stories, where good thing has happened, where bad thing has happened. And we learn from the mistakes if there has been some lacking and weaknesses in the past.
Stories like these have scared most of the villagers away from fishing.
In the past, I was beaten by the army. Now, I don't fish and I am looking for another job.
Now only 6 out of 22 families are still fishing. Most of the others have resorted to labouring on other people's land.
I prefer tilling the land to fishing, but I give half to the owner and only get half for myself. I make just enough to feed my family for the next few months.
It's not only the Botes who tread these fields. Even outside the forest, there is tension between the needs of man and animal.
It is not good to work on other people's land, but there's no choice. We can't get as much return from it as we would like because wild animals such as elephants, rhino and cheetah often damage the crops.
While the protected animals can leave the forest and trample the fields, the Botes are prohibited from going into it and getting what they need to survive. Their way of life may become extinct.
The future of the village in 10 years' time can't be predicted. If the government introduces clear policies, rules and regulations for the welfare and rights of the Botes, that would help to protect them. Otherwise, their future will deteriorate even more.